Hi, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of Pro Wrestling Defined. I'm your host, Jonathan O'Dwyer, and please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up with all future content for interviews with current stars and legends of the business, like the man we have on the show today, the only man to hold both WWE World Heavyweight Championship, AAA, CMLL, and TNA World Heavyweight Championships, and the only man to win the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and cash in Money in the Bank to win WWE Championship in the same year. The one and only Alberto El Patron. How are you doing today, my friend?
What's going on, my brother? All good, all good. Just waking up. I'm sorry. Yes, I know it's almost noon here in Central Time in America. But yeah,
all good, my man. All good. But how have you been doing since last time we talked? You've had a lot of big shows. We had the Triple Threat with Andrade and Carlito, and lots of other stuff coming up with Robles, Patron Promotions. How's everything going at the moment, man?
Everything is going fantastic. We had Hecho in Mexico in McAllen. We had a really good response from the crowd, from the audience. Yes, unfortunately, we didn't pack the place the way we wanted. It's a big building for 8,000 people, but for our first show and with WWE all over Texas and selling their tickets with all of their superstars, we did pretty good. From those 8,000 tickets, we had over 6,000 people attending, and it was around that number, pretty good. It's funny to see how some people, supporters from other companies, wanted to trash talk about the way we did the show and about the matches and everything. And it's so funny just to see or hear that some people don't understand that we're not competing against anybody. They were saying stuff like, "Oh, you guys are too far from AEW and Impact and WWE," and I was like, "Duh, yes, we are. We just started. we don't even have a TV contract, and we're not aiming for a TV contract in the States. We already have one in Mexico, which is a place where we have our major market, but since we live in America, we like to run shows here because it's easier for us. But the matches, all of the matches in Hecho in Mexico and McAllen were fantastic. I was like, because everybody knows this, I'm a fan of pro wrestling. I have always been. So I was there, yes, moving, controlling, and fixing everything that day, but also watching all the matches. And, the little guys, Mascarita Sagrada, and little Parquita, they put up a match for the fans in McAllen in an amazing way. And the Triple Threat, it was off the hook, brother. Like, I want to say it again. Thank you, perros. Thank you, Andrade. Thank you, Carlito. You guys gave me a hell of a match. Like, sometimes people talks about how the main events are not the best matches of the night. And I'm not saying that we were the best match of the night, but I know the audience went back home saying thank you, because that's what they said to us at the end of the match. They all said it. Thank you so much for coming and putting up a show like that, a match like that, not being lazy just because you guys are former WWE wrestlers and you didn't do it like some other people or some other companies where they just come and they don't give us what we pay.
Sure. And this weekend, it's pretty momentous one. It's like it just dawned on me yesterday, like what timing, the 10th anniversary of the night you cashed in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam 2011. I mean, my memory is terrible, but that is one moment that's absolutely etched in my brain. Like, I remember watching with my friend, and like first you kind of had a double whammy of a shocker. You had Kevin Nash coming out doing the power bomb on Punk first, yeah. Like, and then you come out and cash it in, and like what an amazing moment, and that in your first year then as well. Like, it was an absolutely momentous rise to the top you had within the first year. Talk about that moment, that day, even like finding out that was going to happen, and how did that moment feel?
Well, if you say that you have a terrible memory, brother, like mine is like worse than yours, brother, because I didn't even know that today it's been 10 years of that. See,
Yeah.
till you told me, till you texted me this on my phone. I was like, oh my God, yes, tomorrow. That's fantastic. Yes. I remember that, and I was telling my friends, my family, hey, do you know that tomorrow is going to be 10 years? Blah, blah, blah. Like acting like I remember everything, but I don't. It was a fantastic moment, brother. But, as anything else in WWE, I didn't know that was going to happen till it happened. Like, there was moments where they were telling me, oh, okay, you're cashing in that money in the bank next week. And then next week never happened. And then there was a time, I remember a time when just I was about to jump in the shower, and they came running into the locker room. They're like, change right now, because they want you to do it right now. And there I was, changing, putting my boots on and everything, getting to gorilla position. And then they were like, oh, no, we're not doing it today. I don't know if they're messing with me or messing with me or not. I know a lot of things change in WWE. That's the way it is. They have a lot of creative people doing the magic for the fans, and I know things, and everybody knows things change by the minute. But the day when it happened, it was the same thing. We were in LA, and I was in the locker room already, still with my wrestling gear and everything. But they were like, "Hey, come here! Like you're doing it today. You're doing it tonight." And here in LA at the Staples Center, and it was amazing, with all of the Latinos, all the Mexicans in Los Angeles. My uncle Mil Mascaras was there, which I wanna clarify to all of the fans. I love my uncle Mil Mascaras to death. I love him to death, but he's a little bit difficult sometimes. So that's why sometimes I have to go out there and tell people, explain people stuff. But that doesn't mean I hate my uncle Mil Mascaras. And I'm saying this because there has been a lot of people telling me or communicating on social media, asking me why I hate my uncle, or if I have some animosity against him, and I don't. I love my uncle. We're blood, and we're family. I love him to death, but sometimes he's a little bit difficult. He's an 85-year-old man with his own ideas and with his ego and with his things in his head. And sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes he affects the interest of the family or of my business. Like in Nacho in Mexico, he was supposed to be there signing autographs for the fans and stuff. He called us. He was the one calling us, calling my dad and saying, which when it happened, I was in love with my uncle. I was like, seriously? Wow, thank you, uncle. I was so happy because he called my dad and said, hey, I'm going to be there. Do you guys want me to be there? And my dad was like, really? Do you want to help the family? And my uncle was like, yes, we're family. And I know last year was really difficult for everybody, and I want you to tell Alberto, or Pepin. He calls me Pepin, little Pepe. My dad is Pepe, little Pepe, Pepin. Tell Pepin that I want to support the family, and he doesn't even have to be worried about the money. We're family. He doesn't even have to pay me. And I was like, wow, thank you. And I called him. And I was like, uncle, damn it, that's amazing. Thank you so much. You're gonna help us a lot with the show and blah 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 blah. And then 4 days before the show, he called my dad and he threw a BS story about going to the Olympic Games with with the Mexican national team, and he even told my dad that he was going to be carrying the flag and stuff. And I was like, when my dad called me, I was like, Dad, that's just bullshit. I have to say that's just bullshit, Dad. I mean, God knows why he decided not to go to the show. Maybe because he's an 85-year-old man. He was scared of flying, and with this COVID thing all over the world, and us knowing that we're losing the elders, and maybe he got scared. I don't know, but it would have been better if he would have called me and say, "Hey, you know what? Now now it's red lights in Texas because of COVID. I don't want to go." And I would have understand, but I would have been able to tell something to the people, to the fans, because there was so many fans waiting for Mil Máscaras, and that didn't happen. But it was not our fault. It was not Fernando Robles or my fault. He decided not to go, and then even worse, days later, he posted a video saying that he was not supposed to be there and blah, 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 instead of just telling the fans the truth. But whatever it is, there it is. I don't hate my uncle. I love my uncle. Uncle, I love you. I hope next time you don't throw a BS story about going to the Olympic Games and then you just tell the fans, hey, I didn't want to go. But yeah, going back to that day in LA, it was amazing. He was there. My uncle was there with my cousins and his wife. My dad was there too, and it was just, that day where that little boy from San Luis Potosí one day, that little boy from San Luis Potosí playing or wrestling in his parents' bedroom bed, pretending to be champion, wearing the Dos Caras mask. That day, my dream came true, and I became the WWE champion. And I have like, and some people get mad when I say this, but that's the reality of things. You cannot go higher than that. WWE is the NBA, the NFL, the Premier League of pro wrestling, and I'm not putting any of the other companies down, but that's the way it is.
Definitely, and on the night it was Punk that you took the title from, and like the wrestling world is a buzz at the moment now at the prospect of him coming back for AEW. What do you think? Do you think we'll see him on Friday night?
It's when I heard the news, the rumors about Punk making a comeback, gave me joy. I was so happy to hear that, because he is one of the best wrestlers in the world, a fantastic guy, a fantastic person, like someone that since day number one, he became my friend. He was always helping me. We had amazing matches all over the world. Like actually one of my top three is with CM Punk in Japan. It was a live event. I'm pretty sure someone has it in their phone, or someone recorded it. And seriously, it was a hell of a match. Like amazing. Like how sometimes the Japanese crowd, the Japanese fans are a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
And on this one, they went nuts. It was like being in Mexico, but in Japan. Like the noise, like we couldn't even hear each other because they were so loud that we couldn't communicate in the right way. But we just we just decided to wrestle, let's just do our stuff and let's have fun. And we gave them one of the best matches that they ever seen. And I'm happy. I'm happy if it's real that it's gonna wrestle again. It doesn't matter where he goes, WWE, AEW. They're gonna win. I mean, the companies and the fans. We're gonna win with CM Punk in the ring again.
Definitely. And going back, going backwards to the start of your WWE run and the Alberto Del Rio vignettes, did Vince direct those? How hands-on was he with your character, and what was your relationship like with Vince?
It was fantastic. Like it was fantastic. He was. It was for me, for a guy from San Luis Potosí, from Lucha Libre, where I mean, the business in Mexico or anywhere else outside WWE, it's night and day. The difference between doing Mexican Lucha Libre or indie shows and being in WWE is night and day. Yeah. I'm not talking about the quality of the matches or the performers. I'm just talking about the infrastructure of the company. It's the NBA, the Premier League of Pro Wrestling. So being there and suddenly from passing from or moving from driving a car from town to town, 3 hours, 4 hours after the shows to have the opportunity to be in his plane, flying in that, wow, amazing plane. Like just listen to this, amigos. A plane, not okay. Let me get my car and drive from San Antonio to Dallas. No, I'm gonna get my plane, and not just a plane, not just the plane. What was in the plane, like all the luxury, and you could order. They handed you a menu. Like, what do you want? Sushi, steak, and I was like, this is amazing, So for me, everything was like living the dream, being there with him, learning from him, and not just about wrestling or the things he wanted from Alberto Del Rio. Learning in general about life, about things that you have to do, sharing stories about his dad, my dad, and I remember him once asking me why I was so stubborn. Like, he was like, "Why you're so stubborn? I've seen you. You never bring your head down, and you could if they close the door, you don't try to open it. You kick the door down." And I'm like, "Yes, of course, sir. We come from a different place. We come from Mexico. That's a place where you have to fight to survive since you're a little kid. And if you don't fight, you don't go anywhere. And that gives you a different perspective of life. It makes you fight from underneath and really understand. It makes you understand the real meaning of earning things. I've heard it so many times from so many people in different companies during their promos. Respect is earned, it's not given. And me being in the back, just thinking, that's why nobody believes your promos, because you don't know what that is, motherfucker. You haven't earned anything. You haven't been hungry. You haven't been hungry like us, like me, like when I was growing up and I wanted to be somebody and being hungry and making 800 pesos per wrestling match, $35 per wrestling match after being in a bus ride for 24 hours and fighting in Japan in MMA just because I was hungry, not because I really, really, really wanted to be an MMA fighter. No, they said $10,000 to fight a Japanese champion. Fuck it. $10,000. If you want me to drive for $10,000, I'll do it. I was doing how much it was in dollars per month, 100, 300, $600. I was doing like 150, like $500 per month. That was it. But wrestling 3 times a week. And bus rides for 10, 12, 24 hours. So when they said $10,000 for me, for me, I was a rich man after that MMA fight. So, so it's different, sharing and us and me being able to be in front of that billionaire, and having that billionaire, that successful man, hearing my stories and at least for that moment, I was at his level, It was fantastic. It was fantastic. He always had time for me, and I always going to be thankful. And I have to say it again. I'm sorry for those bad years, and when I was battling my depression after my divorce. I know I said a lot of stuff, never against Vince, never, because till this day, I have always been, and I will always be saying thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity of meeting Vince McMahon and having the opportunity of working for him. But for the rest of the family, specifically to Paul, to Triple H, I said a lot of stuff just because I didn't know. I had no idea about the way you're supposed to run the wrestling business, and it took me years and years to understand that there's nothing personal in wrestling. It's just business, nothing personal. So it was fantastic to be spending time with people like them.
When was actually the last time you had any contact with Vince?
Oh, it's been years. It's been years. In WWE, that's the way things work. Like, once you leave the company, nobody talks to you. Nobody. Like it doesn't matter if you and like me, like Scott Armstrong. Hey, what's up, old man? What's going on? Scott Armstrong. He's one of my dearest friends. Like, we share so many hours, days on the road, and like helping each other and sharing stories and having great times together. But we haven't talked since I left WWE. But he knows I love him, and I know he loves me. But we haven't talked since I left. We had some communication on Twitter, like 2 months ago and stuff, but just on Twitter, because I know how that company works. Once you leave, you leave. And I'm not saying that this is what they do, but I think that's what they do. They tell people not to contact the outsiders. I think. I'm not saying that that's a proven fact. That's what I think, or it's just them not wanting to contact the ones that decided to leave the company, fearing any beef with the company or heat, as we say in the pro wrestling business. But yeah, that's why I haven't talked to Vince in quite some time. I would love to do it again. I know, or I think it will happen eventually. It's just a matter of time. Once the black clouds are completely gone, I know we will have communication again. They know, they understand. They've seen it in the business. They have given second, third opportunities. They know we're human, and we make mistakes. We learn from those mistakes, and we move forward. And I mean, the fighters, the winners, like your humble server, Alberto Del Rio, we move forward. We learn from our mistakes, and we grow. We grow as persons, as individuals, as professionals.
And I mean, like, you've done pretty much everything that there is to do in the business. Like I mentioned at the start, WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, CMLL, AAA, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, World Title matches, and everything. Do you really want another run eventually in WWE to kind of round off your career? Or are you content kind of with your body of work as a performer, and you kind of want to now focus on promoting and that type of thing, and still doing some matches and stuff more so for the enjoyment of it rather than any kind of goal that you have set, or do you really want that last run in WWE or AEW? Even would you be open to working with them?
Yeah, no, I do. I'm not gonna BS anybody. I wanna have another run in a major company. I keep saying WWE because again, there was years where those years were not so good, and I expressed myself in the wrong way. But they made me. They made me. I was just talking about this yesterday with some friends because one of them asked me. My friend Russell was like, "Do you go anywhere where you don't have at least one person coming to you and asking you for a picture?" I'm like, no. Like, there's not one single day for me not having at least one person coming and asking me for a picture. And in Mexico, in my hometown, Jesus Christ, they made me Frank Sinatra down there. It's like, it doesn't matter that I haven't been in American television for so many years, or being in a major company for some years. In Mexico, we don't have too many successful stories or successful athletes. I know in America, in Europe, you guys have like hundreds, thousands, but in Mexico we have 5, 6, and thank God I was one of those 5, 6. So, and I also did a lot of stuff for my country, to help my country, to help the people from my country. So, and I love you, everybody down there in Mexico. I know we're living difficult times, but it will get better. So WWE made me, and I've been able to give a fantastic life to my family thanks to all the things that I accomplished over there. And everybody knows this because I've been expressing it like pretty much every week. I have a dream after winning everything: Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, blah blah blah. I have one last dream, to put it that way, in the business, and it's not being WWE champion again. It's not being Intercontinental champion, because that's the only championship that I didn't earn in WWE. But that's not my dream. My dream is one day to be in the Hall of Fame. That I remember inducting my uncle Mil Mascaras into the Hall of Fame, and I just remember that day, the scenario, the audience. It was like being in the Oscars, but for us, for the sport we love. And, since that day, I've been dreaming with that. I think I have done enough in the business.
Definitely.
To earn that position. But I also, me being a third generation wrestler and breathing, eating wrestling since I remember, I know how it is. I know those clouds, they have to disappear, and they have to see that there's no more depression, that I'm just the same person that knocked on the door many years back, asking for an opportunity to one day be a WWE star. But also, I've been seeing what AEW has been doing. It's fantastic. I I consider Jericho a friend. I think he considers me a friend too. And most of the wrestlers working for AEW, they're my friends, and we have shared the locker room, the ring, and I think it's just a matter of time for me to one day perform in one of those major companies. In the meantime, I'm completely happy doing what I'm doing, promoting shows and going and wrestling in the indie circuit. I had a show in Chicago where we told a fantastic story between the rivalry between Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, and it was a packed arena, like Puerto Ricans going crazy, Mexicans going crazy, and it was so good against Savio Vega that we had to grab the microphone and tell the fans, hey, stop, motherfuckers! It's pro wrestling. they were about to fight between each other, like Mexicans against Puerto Ricans, and
that's crazy.
We have to tell them. We have to tell them, hey, relax. We're just performing. We're not gonna kill each other defending the flag. We're just wrestling. But you know what? That's one of them. You know, after the show, you go to the locker room or you go to your hotel, and then you go with a big smile in your face because you know you did a fantastic job when you get reactions like that.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And speaking of big reactions, one of my favorite moments from your career is your comeback at Hell in a Cell against Cena for the US title. I was watching that with my nephew Jake, and like he was really young. He was about 10 at the time or so, and he was, you know, a diehard John Cena. So seeing his reaction. His reaction when you beat Cena was absolutely priceless. I just love memories like that, and it was a hell of a match as well. Talk about working with Cena, what your relationship was like, and that match in particular. Any particular memories of that?
John Cena. First of all, thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you. I learned so much from you. Seriously, and I know a lot of people, they're going to be mad at me after I say this. You know, in Mexico, they always say that Mexican lucha libre is the best wrestling or the best lucha libre in the planet. But I have to disagree, you know. Yes, you can get stuff from Mexican lucha libre and bring it into the wrestling style, American or European wrestling style. Yes, it works. It makes you different. But to really wrestle, and I always say this to people: flying, doing topes and planchas, that's not wrestling. Seriously, like I hate when some people say, "Oh, WWE is just a show. They don't wrestle. They just talk." Well, talking is not part of it is part of wrestling. Promos are part of wrestling, but talking has nothing to do with wrestling techniques. So does flying across the ring. I mean, that's just spectacular, and we love seeing luchadors flying and stuff, but that's not pure wrestling. And you know, I have been saying this for years, and I'm going to continue saying it for more years to come. John Cena doesn't get the credit that he deserves from the fans. Yeah. He is a serious, a great wrestler, a real wrestler. You don't even talk to him. Like you don't talk to him before the matches. You just go there. And he knows. He was the one teaching me. When people come, I never said this in public, but or to the fans, but they always ask me why I'm so good building the matches and like being the architect to put those matches together, or how to take the fans in that roller coaster of emotions. As of course, from many people, many wrestlers that helped me on the way. But John Cena was the one. Like, it wasn't until I became a better wrestler the day I wrestled John Cena. And when we started that first feud, at the end of it, I was a better wrestler just because I worked with John Cena. He made me understand. He was the one making me understand that it doesn't matter that match that you had in San Antonio last night made him go crazy. You cannot use the same match in Houston because Houston people might not like it. Yeah. And same rule applies for the people in Dallas. So you have to be ready. You have to go out there and listen to what they want, you know? Yeah. And I remember going down to Mexico after my my first time in WWE, and now they do, because now a lot of Mexican luchadores are working here in the States. But back then, when I was telling them, well, let's just wait and see what the fans want. Why do you want to come and put a rosary of a match and planning this, planning that, that's not wrestling. It doesn't work that way. What are you gonna do if all of that stuff that you planned for 2 hours doesn't work and you don't get a good reaction? You're not gonna know. You will not know what to do. And some, I remember those days. Some of them were like, "Why is he being so difficult?" I wasn't being difficult. I was just, I came to America. I went to WWE to get my master degree in wrestling. That's the way. I remember Rey Mysterio saying that. I went to college in Mexico, but I got my master's and my PhD and everything in WWE. That's the way it works. They make you a performer, and working a real performer, a real wrestler. And when you work with people like John Cena, you learn a lot. So it was amazing. And that's another story and another thing that I always tell Mexican luchadors, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult to work with the Mexican luchadors. They don't want to do the co-main event. They always want to be in the main event, regardless if they're hot at the moment or not. You don't understand that it doesn't matter where you go in the card. You need to understand that this is what is hot right now for the fans. So that's going to be the main event. And you being in the co-main event doesn't mean that we don't appreciate your career, or we're not paying you the respect you deserve. And also, they think they're UFC fighters. They don't want to lose ever. They think they're Superman and they don't want to lose ever. So it's so complicated to sometimes, not with all of the luchadores, but sometimes. And I remember going back that day for me being in the because I was hidden. They had me in a tour bus just waiting. They didn't want to have other wrestlers or people letting know the fans that Alberto was going back to WWE that day. And so I was there, and I was picturing the match in my head and thinking about putting another classic against John Cena. And it was at the Staples Center in LA again. And then it was it was amazing. I was waiting for John, never came. And then they're like, okay, time to shine. And the reaction from the crowd, it was like amazing. And in the moment I defeated John Cena, nobody could believe what they were seeing, because I defeated John Cena in like 4 or 6 minutes, and he gave me that. I know this. It wasn't the company, of course, they didn't want to, because it's John Cena. If you're gonna defeat John Cena, we're working, man.
Yeah.
I'm not working. I'm just talking. My friend is working.
All good, man.
I know. No, that's nothing. I was doing a fantastic promo against Rush the other day. And I was like, oh my God, this in my mind. I was like, this promo is going fantastic. And I kept talking. And then suddenly my mom flushed the toilet. I was like, Mom, no. Anyway,
brilliant.
It was John Cena giving me that, because of course, if you're going to defeat John Cena, you went toe to toe, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But no, because that was my comeback after that freaking incident against that social media worker saying, not good things about my community and me being fired, etc., etc. No need to talk about it because it's in the past, here and here. And I know it's in the past for them because we ended up doing business again. But But John Cena, I know he didn't say it, but I know because the match was programmed to be for 25 minutes. That's what was written, 25 minutes. And then we started, and then John was like, right here. Right here. Thank you for coming back, champ. And I was like, fuck, really? Okay. So he gave me that. Like, I think, I'm not saying that that's what he was thinking, but I think he knew what I went through when I got fired and all of the stuff. And I'm pretty sure he wanted to give me something to say thank you for your effort, thank you for those matches, thank you for your hard work, and defeating John Cena in 4-6 minutes. I think it was 4 or 6 minutes. And I always share this story with the Mexican luchadors when they're being difficult. I'm like, come on, man, like, why you're being so freaking difficult? And you want me to hit you with a chair, with a baseball bat, and with a freaking fucking bazooka to get the victory over you? When John Cena, I defeated John Cena in fucking 4 minutes, and it was his decision, because he understands. We understand that this is just business, like. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic working with someone like him and learning from a wrestler like him, like Rey Mysterio, Kane, CM Punk, Show, Randy, all those amazing performers in the WWE. Oh, I'm forgetting about it because you and I talked about this. Dolph Ziggler. Hey, Dolph, what's up, man? Thank you for those. Like, Jesus, one of my favorite rivals. Oh, my God. That guy is so fucking good, man. Like, so fucking good. And I have to say it again. So fucking good, man.
You even had a great match with him over here. We talked about that last time. Like, I saw you in Dublin in 2014, and he had an absolutely awesome match. Like, it was stiff and snug, and it was a really, really good match. Like, he always delivered whenever you were paired together. We deliver. It doesn't matter if we wrestle, we deliver, because we love the pro wrestling business. But this is. And this is real. Like, Dolph and I don't think we liked each other when we started, or when I started in the main roster. Wow. There was no beef, there was no nothing, but we never talked. We never even like shook hands or anything. We'll be like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? And I think he didn't like me, and I didn't like him. It was one of those where, for no particular reason, maybe just a competitive thing or something like that.
Probably. Yeah. I will say that for Dolph was like, oh shit, this freaking guy is coming and getting absolutely everything in 1 year. And I've been busting my trasero, my ass for so many years, and I don't get that opportunity. And me probably thinking, oh, this guy thinks he deserves everything, and he's just angry because he's not getting it. I think that was going through our heads, but we never had any beef or altercation or anything in the locker room. It was just one of those things where he would think he would be on the left, I will be on the right, and we will try to avoid each other till the day they put us in the ring together. It was just one of those things where I think the company was like, okay, just throw this match out there, because they didn't plan it. They didn't know what we were capable of and our chemistry, because not even us knew that we would have that chemistry. And because we did, I have to say it like this. I'm not sure if he liked me or not, and same, it was the same for me. But when we saw the match in the card, I don't remember if it was for SmackDown or for Raw. I was like, okay, this guy, and I just, I walked away. I went to catering, didn't talk to him. He went to catering, didn't talk to me, and I said, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Okay, I don't even remember who won that match. I would say me, but I don't know. Um, and then we just wrestle, and it was supposed to be just a one segment match for 8 minutes, but they were fucking nuts right away. Like after the first 2 minutes, and we did our stuff because he's a fantastic wrestler. I'm a fantastic wrestler, and I mean, and I know some people is gonna be, oh, well, you're not humble. You're saying you're I am. I fucking work for this, fools. I worked for this. When you were little kids and you were playing with your Ataris and stuff, I was in the freaking gym, like wrestling and traveling the world at the age of 9, being in Cuba, competing for the national team and in Iraq and places like that. So why not? You know, I bust my ass to be Alberto Del Rio. So why not? Why not saying it? I'm a fantastic wrestler. He's a fantastic wrestler. So the magic was just flowing, and it was all over there. And from the like, it was supposed to be just one segment match, and they end up cutting other matches and giving us another segment. Scotty, I think Scotty was a referee, if I remember well. Scotty or John, one of them, and I just remember them. Hey, we're going to break. They want you guys to do another segment. Oh, and right there, like we, for the company and for us, we created magic that night, and then we went back to Gorilla, and we got a standing ovation from everybody, including Vince, and
wow,
and right there, after that match, I earned his respect, and he earned my respect, and we became friends since then. And after that night, we were wrestling all over the world.
Yeah, you had an awesome run together. And another guy you mentioned there a while ago, actually, like you won the world title from him as well, is Big Show. And like he's back with AEW now as well, doing the commentary, and it looks like he's going to be wrestling again soon. But talk about your memories of working with Big Show, and do you have any funny behind the scenes stories of him? Like nearly everybody has something good. Like I love the one where he falls down the airplane stairs. Have you anything like that with Big Show, and what he was like to work with then as well?
No, he was always good to me, a fantastic guy, and you know, I just remember this one in Egypt. We were doing some vignettes in Egypt and some pictures for this really famous magazine for in Egypt for Egyptians, and it was with the beautiful pyramids on the back, and they put a chair for him, a chair for me, and but I had a golden chair, but a tiny gold chair, and you know, Big Show had this gigantic chair, of course, for a giant, right? But on camera and in the pictures, when I started seeing how everything was looking in the camera, I was like I looked so tiny next to Show, and with the pyramids on the back, and I was like, this is not fair. I don't like it. I look like you're like I'm your concubine or something, like you're a pharaoh, and I'm just you're one of your wives. I hate this chair. I don't want this chair. And you know, the production, they kind of struggle a little bit, but it looked horrible. I have a picture of that in my game room. I'll find it, and I'll post it today, and you'll see the difference of size between Big Show and I. Like, he's just massive, and but he's like a little kid. He's one of the nicest men on earth, like treating everybody with respect and helping other people. You know, like sometimes you know, we have that in the business where if you come from this nationality, you don't get along with some other people, or they don't treat you the same way. But Big Show was always, you know, helping us, letting me ride with him in his tour bus from sometimes, you know, a great guy. I think he's still in Miami, and when I used to live in Miami, we would hang out, and of course, we had only one day off in WWE, but we would hang out outside our WWE life. Fantastic guy. I'm happy to see that he's in AEW and that he's doing something different. And he was needing, I'm pretty sure he was needing that, something fresh. I remember our conversations in the locker room, how sometimes, the company was not giving him the respect he deserves, or the appreciation that a guy, a legend like him deserves. But again, that's the way the business is. It's nothing. There's nothing personal. It's just business.
Exactly. And moving on to your TNA run, talk about kind of the run overall. Like, how did you feel about it, and your memories of working with Bobby Lashley, because you won the TNA World Title from him as well. Talk about working with Lashley, what you think of his rise in WWE and your run in Impact.
Well, working for TNA, more than TNA, working for Jeff Jarrett was fantastic. He was always good to me. Like Scott, Jeff, they were always good to me. Like they knew what I was bringing to the table. They were letting me work. They were happy with my work and everything. They put up that. They created that amazing story of me going to TNA or Impact Wrestling and get involving my dad, my brother, and those MMA fighters and stuff, and working with an athlete, a beast, because he's a beast. He's he's a real athlete and a fantastic performer, like Bobby Lashley. We just created magic, and I remember the whole storyline leading to Alberto becoming champion, unified champion for Impact and TNA. It was great. That moment of me presenting those titles on my knees, presenting those titles to my dad. I'm sorry, my dad has been, he's getting old, and sometimes.
Okay, man.
Yeah, he's okay. Don't be worried, fans. But he was a little bit sick, and we thought he was freaking COVID. Fucking COVID, leave us alone.
Wow.
Thank God it wasn't COVID. It was something else. But
thank God.
Yeah, thank God. So that moment with me presenting those titles to my father, and when I saw my dad with his mask and tears in his eyes and crying, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of pro wrestling. Yes, it's predetermined, but we do, when you have great performers like Bobby Lashley, like myself, you make people believe. You make people believe. We believe. Our job is to make them believe, because we believe. Wrestling is not fake. It's not fake. It's predetermined. We know who's going to win and who's going to lose, but it's real. The effort, the hard work that we put in our careers, in the match, in the arena, it's real. It's a real competition right there. We get hurt when we get those chair shots or body slam. Our body suffers, and we take the tool. And so there's nothing fake in wrestling. The other day I saw a picture of a girl wearing a T-shirt. Wrestling is not fake. People, they're fake. And I was like, oh my God, I love you. I want to buy that T-shirt. I need to get a T-shirt like that. Wrestling is not fucking fake. People, they're fake. We make people believe. And that day, we made that that beautiful old man, Dos Caras, believe that his son was becoming the unified champion, and he had tears in his eyes, and it was a fantastic moment for us. I'm really happy to see that Bobby Lashley is where he deserves to be, you know. Nobody knows why in the past he didn't get the recognition that he deserved in that company or other companies, but I'm happy to see that he's getting it right now. He is he is a champion. He looks like a champion and he wrestles like a champion. So he deserves that position. And I'm also happy to see MVP, another great friend in the business, you know, because I know he was not struggling, but, you know, he, like, the business wasn't that good for him after he left. It was at the beginning, but then it wasn't so good for him when he left WWE and when he left New Japan. And we were always, you know, helping each other. He was getting bookings for me. I was getting bookings for him. We had those amazing matches in Mexico for my company, Nación Lucha Libre. We had that amazing match with Carlito and him that was it was one of the most talked moments in Mexican television, because it was the first time for Alberto Del Rio losing in Mexico City. I mean, outside WWE, you know, I lost against John Cena when we did the TV tapings in Mexico City, but outside WWE, nobody ever defeated me in Mexico City, and the capital of the Mexican Lucha Libre. And that day, I lost the match against MVP and Carlito, and there was just silence in the arena when it happened. So I have to say this. I stole this story from Impact, from Scott and Jeff, involving my dad, making a real moment, putting that real moment in television, the struggle of a father, a defeated son on the floor. I kind of brought my thinking about what I felt and how depressed I got after I divorced, and after I got divorced, and I brought that into real life, and remembering what Jeff and Scott did for me in Impact or TNA. So I lost, and then after losing, I'm down, and my brother is trying to pick me up to make me go back to my feet, and me just down, and my dad coming from the back, and just picking me up and like grabbing me by the face, bring your head up, don't stay like that. You could hear my dad in the microphone, right? Don't stay like that. Keep your head up. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of who we are. And after that huge silence in the arena for like 2 minutes, they just started clapping. Like they just like everybody got up from their seats and started giving us a standing ovation. And the fans, seriously, thank you to all the fans for all the love. Just saying, hey, no problem, Alberto. You will get them in the future. You will make them pay. And that's the beauty of wrestling. We make people believe that what we do, it's completely real. And for us, for the ones in love with the business, it is real.
Definitely, man. And just a couple of quick fire questions but before I leave you go. Talk about who your favorite person was to work with through your career.
And, my favorite wrestler to work with, Jesus Christ, it's impossible for me to pick. And I'm saying this not because I want to be friends with everybody and have everybody loving me. No, it's so difficult because each moment had something special. When I started defeating Rey Mysterio the night of my debut, and that night I went from just being a luchador, a known luchador from Mexico and in Mexico, to be a known wrestler all over the world. And those matches were fantastic. Then again, my matches with Edge and Christian and Punk, and it's hard. I already talked about John Cena. What I can tell you is that I learned the most for when it comes to American wrestling from John Cena, but all of the wrestlers that I had the privilege of wrestling were fantastic. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and even the other wrestlers that were not main eventers for WWE, but they were fantastic. Brian Cage, when we were in FCW, that was my first match in FCW against Brian Cage, who used to be, what was his name in Logan was his name in FCW, and that was my first match over there in Tampa. Zack Ryder, Cardona. We had amazing matches all over the world too. Well, another wrestler that didn't get the recognition that he deserves when he was in WWE. I'm happy that he's getting it now. It's hard for me to say who was my favorite wrestler to wrestle. I just want to say thank to all of them for letting me be in the ring with them.
Who's your favorite person to travel with?
Well, at the beginning was Ricardo. Then when he started with his freaking conspiracy theories, oh my God. And he's still this day talking about conspiracy theories. No, Ricardo, the earth is not flat. Stop that bullshit. Stop that crap, Ricardo. No, aliens are not coming and getting us in 2 years from now. Oh my God. It was Ricardo, and then I haven't talked to him in many years, but he's one of my best friends in life, the business, Drew McIntyre. Jesus Christ. Oh, another amazing wrestler. Fuck. He's finally getting what he deserves. But this is why WWE is so freaking amazing. And I know the hardcore fans and some people, they love like talking about stuff like they were experts and criticizing everything. But they don't really know. And I'm a third generation wrestler. We don't really know. Like when Drew was there in his first run, I couldn't understand. And why they were not pushing him, why they were not helping him. And I remember like one of the executives telling me this. This comes from Vince. It's because it's not his time. He looks like a kid. He looks like just a pretty boy. He doesn't look like a man. And to be the WWE champion, to have the privilege of being the face of the company, you have to look like a man. You have to look like a badass, like a killer, like someone that if you mess with him, he's gonna put you in your place. And when he came back years later, not still being a good-looking man, but not looking pretty, but looking like a man, like with a better physique, and wrestling skills has always been there, are the same intensity, same aggression, but looking like a man, like someone that will bust your trasero if you mess with them. And they made him champion. And when that happened, I was like, fuck, yes, it's real. I didn't understand it when he got fired and stuff. But they know what they do. They have the recipe. Like we need to, and I'm not just saying the fans, we, everybody, we need to understand that, hey, they know how to cook the chicken. They have been cooking the chicken for so many years, and that's why they make billions and billions of dollars every year, because they have the formula. Why they would change it if it's working, if it has been working? Yes, of course, they need to adapt and change certain stuff that the new fans want, but the formula will always be the same. The basic formula will always be the same. So Drew, I have so many stories with Drew on the road. Some of the stories I can share them. Some others I have to put them in the black book, and maybe when my kids are married and they have kids, and maybe I will share those stories with you guys. But always having a great time with Drew McIntyre. Hey, compadre, I know we haven't talked in quite some time, and you don't even need an explanation of why you didn't call me. I know you were about to be WWE champion, and you needed to protect that. I know. So for the fans, people, they don't understand how complicated this business is sometimes, and that the business doesn't stop just after the show. It goes beyond that. That's why for some people it's so easy to say, oh, this one needs a push, this one deserves a push, why they're not pushing this. There's reasons. There's a lot of reasons why some of us get the ball and some others don't. Yes, there's specific cases where there's been other situations, but the 99% of the time, the 99.99% of the time, when you get the ball, it's because they know you can carry it. So, and it's as simple as that. You can like it or not, but that's the way the business is and will always be.
Definitely, and you carried the ball amazingly while you were there, and it's been absolutely awesome talking to you today. Any message you want to leave the fans with at the end of this, and plug what you have coming up with Robles Patron Promotions coming up?
Yes, no, I just want to say again, thank you to all the fans for all the love, and for understanding and supporting, and again for the haters, thank you for being a-holes and making my pride come to light again, and do what I do right now, and wanting to continue growing, and wanting to continue showing, wanting to continue showing you that nothing will stop me. Thank you to all of you, haters and fans, and with Robles and Patron Promotions, where we're gonna continue doing what we did in McAllen. They're already asking when we go back to McAllen, and we already have the other venue, the Competition of Pain Arena, approaching to us and getting a show from us. This time we're gonna be promoting it, but this is a sold show. They came and they buy the show, and we don't have to be worried about advertising and this and that. All we have to do is bring the wrestlers and put the show for the fans, and we're gonna get paid. So, which is fantastic because we don't risk our money. And we have Vegas next week, amigos, on Friday, the day before SummerSlam. We're gonna be there with the Mexican luchadors and Carlito and Sin Cara. Dr. Wagner, my brother, myself, we're all gonna be there, trying to open another venue, another show for wrestlers, for fans, and we're planning on running Vegas once a month come and support the show. Come and support us. I'll be there Friday. I know I'm gonna see a lot of friends that day and a lot of fans. And then after that one, we have Mexico City. We're gonna have Pepsi Center in Mexico City. It's been a little bit difficult in Mexico because we sell tickets and then they go back to red light and people get scared. And then 3 days after they go back to green light. And it's been a hassle trying to do a show in Mexico City, but it is what it is. It's COVID times, and we're just letting people know every single day that the show is still going. We're doing Mexico City. All the performers have been confirmed, and we're gonna put an amazing show. Now it looks like Rouge, El Toro Blanco, or the cow, La Vaca, more than a bull is a cow. He's coming. That's what he has been saying in social media. He's letting me know and La Parca know that he's coming and he wants to fight. And brother, if you want to fight, brother, we're Mexicans. Irish people and Mexican people, we love to fight, brother. So,
yes.
Like if what you're trying to do is to start a fight and want to fight, come to Pepsi Center. We'll be waiting for you.
Awesome, brother. I can't wait to see how everything goes. And thanks so much for your time today, man. It's been absolutely awesome talking to you again. And just best of luck with everything going forward, my friend.
Thank you, my brother. Take care. And everybody out there, I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you down the road.
Thank you for tuning into Pro Wrestling Defined on YouTube. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep up with all future content. And please follow Pro Wrestling Defined on Twitter, Instagram, and like us on Facebook.